Welcome to Atluri Media. This is Spandana, your junior journalist, is studying in St. Patrick's High School, 5th class. So today your junior journalist is talking to senior journalist Sharma uncle. Welcome uncle.
And a momentous occasion for me too, because I am meeting a junior journalist like you, and very happy that the parents are trying to inspire young children into this very lofty profession of journalism right from such an young age. So I'm really interested. And to start with, may I know, Spandana, what are your goals and interests? Because every child has a fixed goal and also has some corresponding interests also. So, what are your goals and what are your interests?
My goal is to become a teacher and my interest is business.
I'm so happy, Spandana, that you are interested in becoming a teacher. That's one of the nicest professions, loftiest professions, very honorable profession in the world. Because a teacher is the architect of the entire society. So I'm so happy about it. And in trying to become a teacher, what is your area of interest? Because there are many subjects also, science, maths, sociology is there, physics is there, so many different subjects are there. In which subject you want to specialize and in which subject you want to teach?
I want to become an English teacher.
That's really very nice because English literature is such a big field, You have classics and you have the modern works and you have the medieval works. Like that, English literature is such a big and bountiful thing.
Uncle, then what are the skills needed to become an English teacher?
This is wonderful, Ma, because to become a teacher, the first and the foremost thing is communication. In trying to become a teacher, the first and foremost thing is to develop good communication. Because whatever knowledge you have within you, you must transfer it to your students. So, communication is the first and foremost tool necessary for any teacher. Then comes continuous study. You have to study continuously. Now you have been preparing for the exams. After completing, you are just trying to forget. But in teaching, it will not be like that. Every day you have to refer, you have to remember, you have to reclassify the knowledge. You must make it interesting and presentable to your students. So, teaching requires so many skills. You must develop the skill of patience, isn't it? In your class, suppose you must be having 30 to 40 students. Some students will be decent, some will be naughty enough, and some will be between this and that. You have to apply your knowledge to reach up to every student. You should have tons of patience because to teach a child is not that easy. So, you should have patience to reach up to every child. So, that is the most important thing for a teacher. You have chosen teaching and you have also known about the skills and you are also trying to bring about some newness, freshness into this teaching. So, I want to know how you will become a good teacher. What type of planning you have to become a good teacher?
That's what, uncle. Can you please guide me?
This is an important question because every child who is interested in becoming a teacher has to really follow some definitive methods. The first and foremost is to have self discipline. If a person is not disciplined himself or herself, he or she cannot become a good teacher, isn't it? That is why, first of all, the most important thing required for a teacher is self discipline. And apart from self discipline, you should have a passion for knowledge. Continuously, you must refer your subject matter every day. You should not think that I have completed the studies. Yes, I know about all these lessons. I can straight away go and teach in the classroom. No, no. Every day before going to the classroom, you must revise the lesson. You must find new ways of teaching the same lesson. The lesson may be same, but the way you teach to your students could be different, isn't it? That is where you can make a difference. That is why every day you must think about the lesson in different ways. Then you will have the novel approach to teach your students. And one more thing, you should also be aware of what is going on across the world. Changes are taking place in the world every day, and it is the duty of the teacher to take notice of the changes. Teacher must be well aware of all the changes and must incorporate those changes into teaching methodology. Then teaching becomes really interesting. For example, I will tell you how this should be done. Suppose in the some 30 to 40 years back, textbooks were present and teacher was reading the lesson to the students. But as the time went by, technology has come in, and today we have digital classrooms which are powered by AI technology. So here what we try to do, we use the digital platforms, we use the digital boards to teach students. We can show them exactly. Suppose you want to give an idea about East Africa or North Africa or Central Africa, or you want to tell about the different types of isotopes, or you want to speak about some chemical terms or some phenomena in physics, or in your area of interest also, you want to teach about English literature. Here, the AI technology or the modern technology gives you a wonderful way, approach to make that lesson reach up to every student. So you have to adapt to the technology. Suppose you say, no, I am not used to technology. I am not going to use all these methodologies. I am not going to accept technology. So will it be possible for you to go ahead? Certainly not. That's why whenever some change comes, whenever some new technology comes, teacher has to first adapt to that particular technology and also inspire. Even if the student says, not yourself, but if the student says, no, we want the older version, we don't want to take in the newer version, you should say, no, every country is using this type of technology. If you don't upgrade yourself, you will be left behind. That's why we all have to adapt to newer technologies, learn in the best possible ways. So that is how we have to first train ourselves and make others also listen to the same. We have to create a kind of learning ecosystem. Learning has to be made quite interesting. That is the foremost thing. That is how, that's the difference in fact between an ordinary teacher and an extraordinary teacher. Ordinary teacher just gives out what he or she has read, but an extraordinary teacher gives the essence and makes the student think about the knowledge. You should make your students think about the knowledge. Then only the students will get involved in the knowledge. If it is just given, stuffed into their brains, that is not going to really help them a lot. It will become a mere stuffing in their brains. But that is not the prime purpose of teaching, isn't it? So, what we have to do is we have to recreate learning, make it interesting, involve all the students, create enthusiasm. You should say, you should devise different projects wherein you should divide the class into different segments. Each segment should be given a particular task. They should go to the libraries, search for knowledge themselves, come with some newer and better solutions. Like that, if you make a connect between the student and knowledge, that is going to give a lifelong memorable experience for the students. These are the qualities, these are the ways by which we can really become a very good teacher, a teacher who would be remembered forever.
In our school, there is a library and we go weekly once. There are many types of books there. And how can I make use of it, uncle?
This is a nice question, ma, because having a library is one thing and making the best possible use of it, utilization of it is another thing. Because library has different types of books. As you know, it has books from Small stories like stories, parables, from there to encyclopedias. You have all gradations of knowledge. That too, you have books on different topics, and they are arranged in according to different levels of understanding. So, library is in fact an interesting place, and everyone, every child should know how to make use of that. Suppose you are in the fifth grade. Children of your age must try to understand what type of planet we are living on. We all know that we are living on a planet, blue planet. And you should know why this planet is called blue. Why not any other color like green or red or any other color we could have chosen, but we always say it is blue planet. You should know the reasons for that. For that, you should go to the library, check, refer to the books where this particular type of knowledge is found. And one more thing, at this age, you should also know about our culture. Through short stories will be there. Amar Chitrakatha and all will be there. Through that you can learn. And one more thing, when you read through those conversations, your English, the ability to make sentences, manufacture sentences, create sentences, and really make a very good conversation really happens. That is why children. And one more thing, you have series like Tintin, the series like Tintin series. Even when we were young, also we were reading through Tintin series. They were really stories of immense interest. There we used to know through Tintin stories, we used to know many things about the world. Like how, without knowing, we really get an enormous knowledge about this world through those stories. Like that, you can pick up such storybooks at random. And one more thing, you should also take a notebook whenever you go to the library. You should never walk in just like that because it's a very important place. That's why you have to always carry a notebook and a pen with you. Whenever you go to the library, you must open that notebook, put the date, and you should say or you should record what type of books you have read and what you have understood. Everything has to be recorded. That's how slowly your interest and your ability to express right also increases. That's how we have to make use. And every week you have to plan a schedule. This week I have read this book. What book I am going to read next week? Interest must be there. That's how you can read many books. Every week, if you read one book, in 4 weeks, you are reading 4 books. So, monthly, you are reading 4 books. Like that, if you see, for 1 month, 4 books means yearly, okay, take off the summer time, 2 months. Keep only 10 months of your school. 10 into 4, 40 books you are reading per annum. Make a list of all the books you have read. And if you get any doubt, and if you really do not know the meaning of any word, immediately write it down. Ask your parents, or ask your teacher, or ask your peers, friends. If none of them are at your disposal, or if none of them are close by, take a dictionary. I think you know about dictionary. Take up a dictionary. I hope you know how to make use of the dictionary. It has from letter A to Z, all the words will be there. Search in that order. Suppose you want to know about something like amaze, amazing. It starts with A. So take up, open the dictionary, go to letter A. There, go to A and M. There you will get the word amaze, the meaning of it, and thesaurus, how to make use of that word in sentences. Even that also will be given in the dictionary. And write down that. That's very important. You have to create a page where you have to record all the new words. Whatever new words are like new friends. I hope Spandana likes meeting new friends, isn't it? So, whenever you meet new friends, you try to know their name, their place, their interests, everything, isn't it? In the same way, whenever you meet a new word, it is like meeting a new friend. You have to write down that word, make an understanding about that word, complete details, and keep it aside. And you have to refer regularly, just as how you remain in touch with your friends. In the same way, you have to keep in touch with those new words. Then slowly vocabulary increases. New words. Every day you are getting 2 to 3 words. Then per month you are getting 90 words. And this way, if you are getting 90 to 100 words per month, imagine how many you will be getting in 1 year. In one academic year, you will be getting around 1000 words, which is really phenomenal, which is really great, isn't it? That's how you have to develop vocabulary. You have to really write down what type of knowledge you have learned through books, the name of the book, the author of the book, the page or the section you have read. Everything should be written. It should be always recorded. And that book also you must protect it. Even after going home, you must protect that book. Because generally children are interested in recording. Later they will keep it aside. But you shouldn't be like that. You should really protect that book. That's how slowly you are reading books, you are also gaining words, and you are also knowing about new things. New things are interesting, isn't it? Like that, you have to make library an important part of your life. When library becomes a part of your life will take a wonderful turn. Okay, we are happy to note that your school is having good number of teachers and you are having a wonderful library stocked with so many books and you are going to library once in a week. And we have also understood what type of material we have to take to the library, how we have to make use of the library, all these things we have understood. Now I have a question. Of all the teachers in your school, who is most interesting to you in terms of teaching? Because some teachers inspire us a lot. Who is the teacher who inspires you the most?
My favorite teacher is science teacher. She is so patient and kind. She teaches us the lesson through experiments. So I like her a lot.
This is exactly I wanted to know because an inspiring teacher is one who teaches through illustration. It could be experiments or it could be through any pictorial representation, showing charts or making any types of through sometimes through toys also, so sometimes through the reference to digital platforms. That's how an inspiring teacher first has a very good connect with the children. That's very important. And Spandana, since you are really interested in becoming a very good teacher, it's very important for you to develop this kind of attitude. And one more thing you have said that your science teacher, she has tons of patience. That's very important. Patience really makes a difference. Every teacher must have lot of patience, isn't it? You should never lose your nerve. Children will play sometimes pranks. Children will sometimes not listen to you. They go out of your way. But still, patiently you have to collect them, put them in some order, make this knowledge reach to them in their own way. Because every mind, every child has its own way of learning things. First, you should identify this particular child is there before me. What type of method I can use to make him understand this particular concept? If you can catch, then immediately you can make that student understand that particular knowledge in that way. And the student also becomes happy, and the teacher is also equally happy because the highest satisfaction for a teacher is to see to it that his or her students are good at understanding, happy with learning. In fact, learning is life. Every teacher should be a symbol of learning. Whenever anybody looks up to you or looks at you, they should get inspired to learn more. Always, your personality, your decorum, your words, and most important thing, a teacher should always use refined words because whatever the type of words you use, naturally children get attracted by them. They start using such type of language. Suppose if the teacher's language is not refined, is not up to the mark, then definitely that influence also falls upon the young minds, the children also will catch that particular type of language and they will also communicate in the same way, and the whole thing ends up in a big mess. Who is responsible for this? For this scenario? The teacher. That's why the role of a teacher is very important. Once the mind of a young child is nurtured properly, is developed properly, he will grow into a very and wonderful citizen of India. And one more thing, Spandana, you must remember that a good teacher must also inspire young children to remain loyal, patriotic towards our own country. India is such a wonderful land, such a big place, isn't it? When you grow up, naturally, your parents will take you across the country, length and breadth of it. Then you will understand, oh God, so many states are there, so many languages are there, so much of cultural difference is there. But still, we are united and one as one country, that's India. When you realize that, you will be immensely happy. And every teacher must show in every teacher must put all these ideas into the brain of the child, into the minds of the children. They should say, our country is having such a big and historical importance. So everyone must have that zeal. Yes, I will become a very good Indian. I will also achieve something great not only for me but for my country. I will make my country great. That type of tendency you should, as a good teacher, you should put into the minds of the young children. If you can do all those things, naturally the class will become a wonderful platform for growth and development. And this is how, if children, they are the future of the country, they are the future of the planet. So, if they are well trained, naturally there will be well being everywhere. And that's what is daily desired.
Thank you so much, Uncle, for your suggestions and guidelines. Namaste.